Okay, so recently there has been some controversy over the PlayStation Plus increasing their freaking prices. And everybody's going ballistic over this, but to be fair, I kind of expected them to increase their prices because it's the freaking gaming industry. And as you can see, people are losing their freaking mind over, oh man, why'd they increase the price? Oh man, oh my god, how could this happen? We all saw it coming. We went from PlayStation not charging for multiplayer to them charging an absorbent amount of money. So let's watch some of these videos and see what people are saying about this recent decision.
When it comes to video games, I really do feel like we are living in clown world. I really do. From the acceptance of $70 video games in the first place when they were 60, when they used to be 50, to now having consoles cost $550 in most major markets.
So consoles do cost a lot more than they used to. You'd think as technology progresses, things would get cheaper, things would get faster, things would get better, more affordable. But you know, a lot of people just can't afford to play video games anymore. And it's sad to say, they said the gaming console costs like $500. A lot of people don't even have $600 in their bank account. That I think the average American doesn't even have $600 in their bank account, let alone like thousands of dollars to spend on video games.
Across the world, except for one or two very specific ones. We are now 3 years into a new life cycle for a generation, and instead of seeing console prices actually drop, slim models of consoles come out, and games costing less, we are now seeing the actual opposite. Now see me, I'm an 80s guy. I was born in the best decade, bar none, hands down.
The 80s were not the best decade for video games. If we're talking strictly in real life, if you're just not a gamer in the 80s, then yeah, I could see your argument. But, you know, if you're a gamer in the 80s, it kind of sucks. There's no games coming out in the 80s. You had the freaking E.T. game that was a freaking flop. You know, what game came out of the 80s? Now, the 90s, I could understand you saying that because the 90s had some pretty rad games. You had Doom. You had a whole bunch of games coming out in the 90s. Now, the early 2000s, that was the best time to be a gamer. That was by far the 2000s. Yes, absolutely.
The best, because I got to see technology and the internet grow from its existence in the beginning all the way to the insanity of AI of what it is right now, and seeing it throughout the entire timeline of its actual growth of 40 plus years. The one thing I can safely say is that some things never change, and companies will do whatever they can to nickel and dime you out of every possible red cent out of your pocket than they possibly can. And with that old man yells at cloud montage tirade, we're going to talk about Sony and PlayStation increasing the price of their PS Plus service. I did the same thing to Xbox. I'm going to do the same thing to Sony because this is 100% actual garbage greed.
It's obviously greed, but you should have saw it coming. If they didn't increase the price of the freaking console, I mean, the PlayStation uses like $200 worth of material, worth of hardware, and they charge like $500 to buy it, and they make only so many. So the price will go even higher. The prices are going even higher because there's so few that have been made. So yeah, it's all about greed. They're trying to turn console gaming into a luxury product. You know, what if Henry Ford said, no, I'm not going to sell the car, the Model T, to everybody. I'm not going to sell that to the middle class and lower classes. I'm just going to make the Model T like $10,000, and I'm going to mark it up and only make so many. Then we never have a transportation system. We never have anything. So the equivalent of that in the gaming space is there will be less and less people playing video games, and it will be more of an elitist item where the community gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and the rest of the gamers move on to PC gaming, because PC gaming is for the most part affordable. I mean, there are your odd games every now and then that charge like $80 for a game, but there's so many cheap games. There's like a ridiculous amount of cheap games, and I love PC games.
There is zero reason to increase these services and these costs for absolutely no return for the customer whatsoever. And that really is the big issue with me and what's happening in gaming right now. We're paying more for video games. Why? They come out broken, buggy, incomplete, day one patches, and then you promise to fix them, and they don't get fixed until a year and a half later. Then I can finally play the actual video game for an actual discounted price. But because I have FOMO, now I gotta buy the game for $70 day one. Sorry, I don't think so, Tim.
Yeah, this is common sense. I've been saying this same thing for well over a decade. I've been saying the same thing since freaking 2012. Okay, when I was like, well, how old was I? I was like, freaking, how old was I? 14 years old, and I've been saying this. A literal child. You know, look at my track record. Look at what I've been saying this whole time. But we have a grown man that's like 50 years old saying, I don't know why they're scamming me. Oh, where were you at 20 years ago? If you're this old and you're just now realizing these companies are going to increase the price for literally no reason, then what is wrong with you? You just haven't been paying attention.
Him to then turning around and now locking the internet that I already pay for behind a paywall so I can have peer-to-peer services and play online on the box I already bought for the game I already bought, but you want to nickel and dime me there.
So if anything, the cost of PlayStation Plus should be included in the price of a console. You pay an extra $50, $100 for the console, and then you get a lifetime of free internet or PlayStation Plus. A lot of people would rather pay more for the console itself than just pay a monthly payment to freaking play online. The Xbox 360 did this. They're like, holy crap, we can actually get idiots to pay every single freaking month. Matter of fact, it wasn't even every month. You just had to pay. You could get one of those 12-month Xbox Live cards and you could play for an entire year. And to be fair, they weren't that expensive. They were only like, I think it was only like $60 for a year. So nowhere near as expensive as what PlayStation Plus is.
And being someone that has gamed on PC for 30 plus years of their life, seeing what console gamers have to go through on a daily basis truly is aggravating, because the one thing I don't want to have happen is those same business practices happen to the platform that I game on. There's a reason why I don't want to pay for online, because I already pay for it. There's a reason why I don't like spending $70.
So it's 2023. And he's just now asking this question. Dude, they've been charging for multiplayer for like 20 years. Okay, consoles always charge for multiplayer. You know, consoles are way more expensive than a PC. You can get a random busted PC and you can pay like $60 a month for your own personal internet. You can browse the internet, go on any website for $60, and you are an idiot for paying like $60 for PlayStation Plus. Matter of fact, let's see how much PlayStation Plus actually costs. So 12-month subscription, $80. So yeah, so let's see, 600% increase. So this article is saying it's a 600% increase. PlayStation Plus experiences a global price hike with staggering 600%. So in Turkey, the country, there's a 600%, I repeat, 600% price increase. Does that sound worth it to you, paying 600% more for something you already freaking bought?
For a video game, that's because I can find other ways of getting them. Usually, sometimes, even maybe for free. But even though consoles have a low cost of entry in the beginning, the money you spend over the lifetime of that box and even upgrading for that next generation truly is insane to me. And here with that comes Sony and PlayStation now increasing the price of their PS Plus service, which they happen to add at the very bottom of their most recent blog. Let's take a look. And here we are on the PlayStation blog, where of course we now have a new update that was posted yesterday from PlayStation themselves saying PlayStation Plus monthly games for September: Saints Row, Black Desert Traveler Edition, and Generation Zero. Boy, I sure do love.
So you're paying $80 a year for freaking Saints Row? How much does that game cost? Like $5? That game's 15 years old. It costs literally nothing in comparison to PlayStation Plus, and you're not getting anything of value. You're not getting anything worthwhile. You're getting a basic internet connection, access to basic internet, and then a few old games that came out decades ago.
Garbage, microtransaction garbage, and more garbage in the service that I already pay yearly for. That is an exorbitant fee in the first place that I shouldn't have to pay for. But hey, new pricing changes to PlayStation Plus 12-month plans. Let's go ahead and scroll all the way to the bottom. Man, isn't that a good time already? Let's just put a little footnote at the end so that way you know we're just gonna fuck you the entire way so you don't forget about this. So here we are with PlayStation's little post. We also wanted to let you know that starting September 6th, we will be increasing the price of PlayStation Plus 12-month subscriptions globally across all benefit plans. Not just a few of them, not just specific countries, globally across every single plan regardless.
So notice how they already got the mindless lemmings to buy the PlayStation 5. And once you buy that console, you're at the mercy of Sony. Sony could say, hey, I want an extra $100 a month in order to play multiplayer. Now you're already so invested in this console, you already have it, and if you don't give them your extra $100 or so a year, you will basically own a brick. Your console will basically be worthless. That is why you don't game on a console. Never game on console, because it is making the gamer held hostage and dependent on a system that he does not own. If you own your own PC, nobody's going to be able to cut off your freaking internet if you own that PC. You own it. Unless you stop paying your internet bill, they really can't cut off access to your PC. Okay, this is about self-ownership. This is about freedom. So if you own a console, guess what? You will have to pay the piper every single month, and if you don't, you lose.
Now, look, if there was some reason that they were trying to increase this, they sure as shit didn't give you one. Because the only reason this would be acceptable for them to increase the price would be as if people got first-party games from PlayStation day one on release on the service. That would be the only legitimate reason to actually raise the price to be comparable to Xbox and what they have increased their price to. But no, let's continue. This price adjustment will enable us to continue bringing high quality games and value added benefits to your PS Plus subscription service. I want to know what high quality games and value added benefits you're talking about.
So they said high quality games, and they show Saints Row, the original Saints Row. Come on, you don't have to pay $80 for that.
Because clearly what you're saying and what's happening, they're not together, all right? Those things aren't in line. That's a real big problem. Because Saints Row is a massive flop. That's not a value or a high quality game. Black Desert is an MMO that literally has an entire group of people called swipers. Do you want to know why they're called swipers? Because they swipe their credit card to win the actual game. That's right, I said credit card.
So pay to win is outrageous. The gamers who play these kinds of games should honestly sue. I'm pretty sure that's illegal. Selling your game like it's a fair freaking game where if you work hard enough, you can get better at the game and you can win, just to have a freaking paywall at the finish line. Pretty sure that's kind of illegal. That's like false advertising.
Card, not credit card, credit card, because it's usually mommies that they have to swipe through to win. And then whatever else other garbage they're going to drop into the actual service that they're charging you more money for now. But of course, things get better. Here are the new prices for PS Plus 12-month subscription plans. For the Essential plan to just play online is now $80. That's a $20 increase from the...
Utterly insane. $80 is utterly insane. That's more than the price of a AAA video game. So they're saying because we're letting you freaking connect your internet, literally, you're connecting your internet that you pay for into the system, into your game that you bought and paid for. They're saying, okay, give us $80 and we'll let you plug in your internet into your game, and we'll let you play with other people on their internet and their game that are also paying Sony absorbent amounts of money. Does that sound like a fair deal?
The original price. Bravo. Hey, you want to play online with your console? Give us $20 more, clown. Not CLOWN, no, KLOUN, because that's how much of a clown you are for paying this actual price. A PS Plus Extra for the 12-month sub is now $135. Yeah,
$135. That is absolutely absurd. See, this is what I'm talking about. Console gaming has become a designer luxury. Unless you're like upper middle class, I can't really see somebody taking consoles seriously. I just can't. Unless you have like six figures, I can't see you spending like $130 a freaking year and then paying $60 for a game every month. And paying for multiplayer, playing for online, playing for the low ping, so your character can actually be playable in multiplayer, so you'll actually be good in multiplayer. Unless you have very, very low ping, very, very good internet, you won't be good at multiplayer. That's just the way the games are now. You have to pay the highest price. The person who has the most money will always win.
$135 for what? For nothing. For a whole bunch of nothing. For the same thing you've had the entire time. Zero, zilch, nada. You could say, oh, well, we get some games on there and it's going to be pretty good. It's just, oh yeah, you're getting the same thing, but for now you're paying more money. How much of a value you're sitting there, my boy? None at all. And then finally, PS Plus Premium, where the only real reason to get this actual service is the backwards compatibility on those actual titles and getting old PS1, PS2, and PS3 games. What are you paying now for a year for that? $160 for games that are completely missing off of the entire library.
So notice how these companies take away features and then put those features in some sort of plus edition of their programs. So we're going to take the same program and we're going to make a plus version of that same program, and we're going to increase the price, and then we're going to keep taking away features from the main version of that program and putting it into the plus, and then we're going to take away features from the plus version and put it into the extra premium version. And you know, who does this appeal for? This doesn't appeal to the average gamer. Okay, why do they always have to have a plus and premium? They call PlayStation PS5, oh, PS5 Plus. Oh, we're going to make an Xbox Plus. It's all this nonsense. You know, it's become a designer luxury. I don't understand. By the time you pay into all this nonsense that PlayStation and Xbox is asking you to pay just to play online, you could have bought a gaming PC. A very good gaming PC. If you saved all that money you spend on console gaming and just really went online, you can go online and buy like a pretty good gaming PC for like $600, and that's about as much as a freaking console, and consoles don't have anywhere near as many games.
Nothing being added new that wasn't already on the PS3, and then now you're not even getting native PS3 games to download and emulate on your console. They're still via the cloud. There is no way Sony can literally look at this and say $20 increase, $35 increase, $45 increase the entire time.
So yeah, you get the gist of this video. He's basically screaming at the top of his lungs saying, how could this happen, man? This has been happening since forever, okay? Remember the Xbox 360? They charge you like an absorbent amount of money just to play online. And really the Xbox 360 or Xbox Live was my red pill for realizing that console gaming sucks. And after the Xbox Live, I realized, why am I paying to use my own internet on my own freaking console? That just makes no sense. It's not like they run the servers off in a house. They throttle the internet. They freaking run it off of your freaking internet. like you play games, like there's 10 people in a match and they'll use one person's freaking internet to run the entire freaking match, and they don't even tell you. Come on, they make the users as the host, and they say, oh, you're getting a huge value for this. Yeah, it takes a lot of money to run. No, they're cutting corners. They're not actually using their own servers. They're using your internet, and you're paying for it. So let's watch a different video. Let's watch something short.
Sony has lost their damn minds. I don't even know if I can say that word in the first 30 seconds of a YouTube video. I'm talking about a beaver dam. That's like science and nature and stuff like that. You can't demonetize me for that. But no, I'm not talking about the PlayStation Portal. I've already talked about the PlayStation Portal. I just don't. But I've always been of the mindset that hopefully it'll get better over time. But this new announcement, oh boy, it makes me think that I might be wasting my money. So here it is, nice, and we're not even talking about it here. We're just talking about the games that are coming. You get the crap-ass Saints Row, Black Desert Traveler Edition, Generation. That doesn't really exist anymore. So Adam Nickel is giving us the information here. I don't care about these games. I'm not playing Saints Row Crap Edition. I'm not playing Black Desert, an MMORPG. No, thank you. RGT does not play those. Generation Zero. I don't even.
So notice how they're showing or giving for quote-unquote free games you've never even freaking heard of. Like, what the heck is Generation Zero? Nobody cares about that game. And the price of all three of those games put together would be nowhere near $80. I mean, it costs $5. Like, those games are flops.
I don't even know what this is. I kind of like that aesthetic, but no. And argue whatever you want about the cloud stuff. It works well for me. It actually works better than a lot of other cloud services do. But the PlayStation 2.
So yeah, another neckbeard complaining about something that you should have saw coming from like a freaking mile away. Like, oh, they raised the prices. Dude, you were already paying a high price. You were paying like what, $50-something a year just to play online? You're just now realizing that it's overpriced? And the sad thing is these same people will complain, yet still pay the price. I swear to God, next month, they're still going to be playing online. They're still going to be paying like a third of their income just to play a freaking video game. So let's watch one last video. So let's watch this IGN video.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Akeem Lawanson, and in today's Daily Fix, PlayStation Plus is getting a price hike, but September's PS Plus games were also announced. So I guess that's something, right? Yeah. And we may have our first look at what Lara Croft may look like in the new Tomb Raider game. Let's drop it.
The Tomb Raider games are actually very freaking good. I love Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider is awesome. You know, I have the trilogy, and it was it's by far one of my favorite games. I'd put that in my top 5.
Now, just yesterday, it was discovered that Xbox has ditched their $1 Game Pass trial offer. Now, not to be outdone by the competition, Sony also has some bad news for their fans. Yeah, price hikes across the board for PlayStation Plus. Now, currently in the US, PS Plus subscriptions break down like this. Now, per year, the lowest tier essential category is $59.99, middle tier PS Plus Extra is $99.99, and the top shelf plan PS Plus Premium is $119.99. Whew, that's a lot of money. Now, starting September 6th,
you know you messed up when even IGN is saying, wow, that's way too much.
the plans will be $79.99 for PS Plus Essential, $134.99 for PS Plus Extra, and $100.
What? $160? Is this a joke? What the heck is PlayStation Plus? Why was this price lower than frickin' that price? 1 year subscription? Does anybody know why this price is higher than this price?
Plus Essential, $134.99 for PS Plus Extra, and $159.99.
Yeah, that's just insane. That's insane. And I thought $80 was high. They're charging like $160 just to go online on your computer, on your freaking quote-unquote gaming console, which really is just a software locked PC. That's all a console is. It's literally just a PC that has software locks in it, so you have to freaking pay to play your own freaking video game.
$9 for premium. Now that's about a 33% increase on all one-year plans. Whew. Now over on the PlayStation blog, Sony issued a brief statement explaining the significant price hike. Now the statement says, quote, "This price adjustment will enable us to continue bringing high quality games and value added benefits to your PlayStation Plus subscription services."
So this really is inflation. I mean, when you think about it, the amount of inflation is probably more than 30%. In my opinion. So they're increasing the prices. But really, when you think about it, you've been paying higher prices all this time. All this time you've been paying the equivalent of $160 or $80 a month, depending on what plan you chose. But you've been paying a lot. People don't think they've been paying a lot. Like, oh, I have $60 a year. No, you haven't. You've been paying a lot. $60 is about the price of a video game, and now video games cost $80. So of course they're going to raise the price to $80, and now everybody wants to get upset. Why get upset? You shouldn't be upset over the price increase. You should be upset over the fact that you have to pay for online. You have to pay to use your own freaking internet. You have to pay to use your own console. And these sheep that are buying these consoles, they don't even understand that.
Now, we took a quick glance at what the PS Plus service offers, and nothing's really changed. So this could be the victim of inflation like practically everything else. Now, with this Plus price hikes over on Xbox Game Pass and AAA game retailing for $79.99 brand new, it's an incredibly expensive time to be a gamer. Now, what's your take?
So AAA titles cost $80. So keep that in mind. People have no problem paying $80 for a video game. But the moment PlayStation increases their prices to $80 for the subscription, then everybody wants to act upset. People should not be paying $80 for a video game. That is absolutely outrageous in this economy. That's just absurd.
Take on all of this. Does PlayStation Plus and by extension Xbox Game Pass still offer a good value for the average gamer? Now, you get access to multiplayer features, free games every month, and depending on the tier,
quote unquote, notice how he says you get free games. No, you idiots, you're paying $80 a year to get those quote unquote free games. If you have to pay for it, it's not free.
Cloud streaming wherever you are. But is it worth it? Is it though? But are you making use of these features? Let's talk about it down below in the comments. Now, you know that magical nanny once said a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. And in the zero, yep. Some bangers there indeed. Yeah, especially Saints Row. Anyway, we weren't too keen on the 2022 reboot of Saints Row, giving it a 6 out of 10, saying it's full of, quote, shallow shoot 'em up thrills, but it's a very familiar and uninspired brand of sandbox fun. I didn't have much fun playing it. It was very tedious, so I don't even know why we called it fun.
Yeah, Saints Row was boring. Saints Row 2, that was actually kind of fun, but I kind of got bored like halfway through the freaking playthrough, and I just quit because the campaign was just so freaking boring, bro. It was so boring. Okay, it's like you're doing the same thing every single mission. Every single mission is the same. Yes, the story was funny, but the missions and the gameplay was just give me a break. It's nothing compared to GTA 5.
That review, it was not fun. Anyway, a year's worth of updates have made the game a little better from a technical standpoint with stability and performance increases. Now, Black Desert got a 7 out of 10 from us, and you may
look at that lag.
Want to give this particular sandbox fantasy MMO a shot since the impressive looking Crimson Desert was shown off at this year's Gamescom opening night.
This is such a generic game. Look how generic. There's like a million other games that look just like this and play just like this. Oh, gotta have your wizards, you gotta have your elves, you gotta have your warlocks, you gotta have your witches, you gotta make it based in a medieval setting. Like, come on, they're all the same. People call this the most creative style of game, but all of these kinds of games look exactly the freaking same and play the same.
Live. Now that one's a single player RPG that may or may not be set in the same universe
Notice how there's an unplayable amount of lag? You can't even play this.
as Black Desert. And finally, we have Generation Zero, a co-op open world shooter from 2019 that's set in an ultra.
Ugh, those graphics. Look at this.
Generation Zero, a co-op open world shooter from
Look at that. They look like toys. Why are they so shiny?
2019 that's set in an
Oh wow, these graphics, man. You just had the blankest face ever. Like, it looks like a freaking robot, like a Terminator or something.
alternate 1980s. Now, it's got mechs and survival elements. Those are pretty cool. And a cool vibe. But it only got a 4 out of 10 from us here at IGN.
No duh, the game clearly looks amateur.
At least it's free. It's free, guys. Now, if you're a subscriber,
Yeah, no, nothing is free. No game is free. Stop calling these games free when you have to pay to freaking win a match. Pay to get good at the game. They're not free. You're just paying an alternative way. Matter of fact, if you do download this game for quote unquote free, you'll probably just be some other guy's freaking punching bag. You'll be their target practice for the one guy that actually did pay for some features. So you literally just target practice.
of course. Yeah. And finally, Activision unveiled the Lara Croft operator skin that's coming to Call of Duty Warzone and Modern Warfare 2.
Is this really news? A freaking skin? No wonder I don't watch IGN.
Multiplayer in the new season. Now, she'll be part of the Tracer pack.
That looks absolutely nothing. Nothing like Lara Croft. Nothing like Lara Croft. That's the blankest, most average, most generic looking Lara Croft I've ever freaking seen.
Tomb Raider bundle, which also adds her signature dual Mach 5 pistols. But it's Lara's overall design that's getting the attention of Tomb Raider fans. Back in 2021, Crystal Dynamics announced a new Tomb Raider game that will try to unify the timelines of the original games developed by Core Design and the rebooted trilogy that began with 2013.
This game was very good. I think the trilogy is some of the best gaming that has ever been made. Okay, I can replay the freaking playthrough of the second and third one like a million times, and it runs flawlessly on my computer. And my computer is like 10 years old, and it runs flawlessly. And the graphics are not bad. So yeah, I'd give this a chance.
Tomb Raider. Now, fans are speculating that the new Call of Duty Lara Croft might be hinting at her look in the next game. A long time.
Yeah, they ruined her face. Why not just use the same looking Lara Croft from the freaking trilogy? Why do you have to constantly redesign the same character? Okay, you don't have to redesign her every freaking game. And then these same people will say, oh, it's continuing from the main. No, it's not. At least keep some continuity in your freaking franchise.
Tomb Raider fans will know that the original game gave us Lara Croft that's been raiding tombs for some time, and the reboot showed her origin story. That was pretty nice. So now we may get a game that bridges the gap between 2018 Shadow of the Tomb Raider and the 1996 original. Now bear in mind, the franchise has more than new games in the works. A second reboot of the movie series is happening over at Amazon with Phoebe Waller-Bridge attached to write, and an animated series is coming to Netflix starring Haley Atwell.
So are they saying they're going to freaking start a movie on Tomb Raider? There's been 2 movies already. We don't need another freaking Tomb Raider movie.
And it looks like Lara will be keeping busy hunting for treasure, exploring ancient civilizations, and maybe running from dinosaurs sometime. I don't know. And those are your stories.
Yeah, my mind is melting just thinking about ever even playing a console game, because consoles, they're just a scam. Consoles in of itself offer nothing of value. They offer nothing to the player. You're being held hostage by Sony and Microsoft because you have to constantly pay money to play your own freaking console. I call that extortion. You call that, oh, multiplayer. No, you don't have to pay freaking money for multiplayer on good consoles and PCs. You don't have to pay. So you should be outraged. Imagine if everybody just stopped paying. Imagine if everybody just boycotted Sony and Microsoft by just not paying and just let their console die and all put that money into building a PC. Imagine, because these consoles would be nothing without their players playing online. So why do you guys even try to spend money on these freaking consoles if you are getting literally nothing in return?